Hello everybody and welcome to the Trackmania Elite Cup. This is it. The 2026 Trackmania esports season kicks off today.
15 minutes of time to just set a time. The top 64 will join onto the Elite Cup server. Here we have from 64 up until 16 players. There will only be 2 knockouts. And then if there is 16 players and onwards, there will only be 1 elimination. So we're gonna play, I think 39 rounds, that is, Geek. So that is quite something to play for. It will take quite long. And as it also says there, 1 mistake can end your run and the final standings decide the results.
They have been well accustomed to the map at this point with all the lead up to this. There's been plenty of lead up and plenty of time for people to practice. And I don't know about you, but it's always so exciting to be at the start of a competitive season in Trackmania. No matter the event, no matter the guys, it's always so good to be able to be at the start of the season because everybody at this point in time is a championship contender. The leaderboard, everybody's a leader in the standings by the time we go to the first round.
Everybody has the same opportunity in this regard, of course. I could also see today in 50 minutes time, or maybe let's say 20 minutes time, that some of the tier 1 players maybe have not made it to Division 1. But it could also be that it's very easy for them. But I've seen, for example, someone like Mudda putting out, I think, over 30 hours. I think he sent a picture with his grinding stats on his Discord server. And like playing this map for so long, that is ridiculous. It's not your similar cup of the day or cup of the week. There's a lot of things up for grabs. The stakes are high, and I think even making it into Division 1 is already a very hard task.
Top 64 cutoff time is a .790. Auris is bumped off the field by 8 milliseconds. Moby is the one with the honor to be in 64th spot. Hill just ahead of him, Huzo, Ener, Yavzo, and so on and so forth. And at the top, it is Pusito Paco, Granadi, Elcon, Mudda, Massa to complete the top 5. We are now underway proper. The last 2, 63 and 64, will be eliminated. And already, I think I saw the 2023 World Champion Otak stuck at the start. Yes, indeed, it is not looking good at all. This is such a shame. Looks as though there might be a connection issue on the side of Otak.
Yeah, Otak finding himself on a last position, and Doc also didn't have the best start on here, but Gwen right now finding himself in a good fight here with all the players here, as you can see, as yeah, it's not looking too bad for him, but who is actually gonna go out here? That might be the problem, I think. Oh, Charles almost on there, but he has Vinch behind him.
Elcon does take the round win with another .5. Mudda, Legu, and Pack complete the provisional top 4, while the ending top 4.
Let's follow the Mad Lads. Let's follow Elcon, who finds himself quite comfortably in top 10 position here by the looks of it, give or take. He falls a bit behind there, but who is actually getting eliminated right now? Well, we have 2 players
so
again,
far,
and
it
Ender,
looks to be a battle between Ender and Stufts. Both are locking horns. Ender looking to try and survive 1 more round. He's in the red zone. He's got the red trigram on his car. As we go towards the identity again, Nighttech looking to slow down quite dramatically, so that will be helping Ender's chances a fair bit, as we do see again his teammate Stufts moving just ahead of him. P58 for Ender. I think it should be above the cutoff. Stutz once again sprinting ahead. And indeed, Ender saved by the bell and saved by Nighttech's slowdown before the identity rang the bell. It will be the Russian player going out in 59th, and Yavzo from the Netherlands dropping down to 60th position.
So Javzo also has been streaming quite a bit, as well as Ender, both sharing their kind of way through the Trackmania Olympics, but also, or the Trackmania Games, not the Olympics. That is that's a very Trackmania Nations way of putting it. The Trackmania Games that of course took place just a couple of weeks ago and ended last weekend. So that was quite something. If you have missed it, it was absolutely legendary. Let's say it like that. And Javzo as well played for for Team Netherlands, but now is eliminated. And yeah, you probably expected more, but the field is so stacked that one mistake seals the deal and you are just facing elimination. Elcon with another banger of a time, and it seems like he is always just getting away with it. He seems so consistent with it. It's just so incredible to see what Elcon is able to cook here. Again, he's only this round, 0.1 ahead, but yeah, he has been falling down quite a bit, and now Noisia is the player who's been falling behind a little bit, but you can see how incredible the level here really is.
Yeah, indeed, as we move a bit further up ahead with Letzter, the coach, I think, for Team Germany, if I'm not mistaken, the nation that has won it all in the Trackmania games a little bit earlier on this year, as currently he finds himself in the middle of the field, and towards the bottom it will be Charles and Area fighting for survival and actually taking advantage of a mistake from Flimsy, who slowed down a bit before the identity. Can the Belgian actually make his way through the 48? He's battling with Charles for that spot. Same with Rotaker. Flimsy a bit slow on the uptake at the exit of the identity. Area 47.
He's the current world champion alongside Carl Jr., but Pack is out, so he's on 48th, Purple on 47th. Scrappy, the player with the most cup of the day, wins, and he will be eliminated here.
Will he be running out of road, though, as we go towards the finish line? The answer is a yes, and Mime is bumped from the field. Hill with a bit more speed will be just slightly ahead of Brand. Will that advantage hold all the way to the finish line? The answer is a yes, and the man from Twisted Minds, the Frenchman, the 2023 world champion, along with Otak, is out in 25th. Bam is completely out of the running, it seems like. Bosal down in 17th. Coco up in 16th. Will he be able to remain in that position? Yes, Bosal will be bumped out before top 16. 8 tenths away from the lead, 2 tenths away from the safe haven. The 3.5 second lead for the Frenchman from Team Loading compared to the 7-time world champion. We're going to be moving back towards the head of the field currently because we see a battle between Gwen and Pussy Tobacco. Currently it is the Hungarian at the head of the field. We'll be curious to see what the stopwatch will say by the time Paco comes to the line, and it will be a 0.498, a very, very decent time, very respectable time in rounds, and Nico will be surviving another round courtesy of the ice slide out from Carl Jr.
Here in this round, we have seen a very early mistake from Mudda. Maybe there was the Neo slide, maybe there was a different input, but Mudda now is behind, but not by too much, because also Heath has made a mistake, and Geek, that is the uncommon round where two players have made a mistake and they are neck and neck to each other. It's so close between them, but we also have seen a lag here from Nico. Nico, wait, what happened? Didn't he lag?
I think that was a very huge. Yeah, you saw his go stop in the middle. In the middle of the screen from the perspective of Mudda. So maybe Heave and Mudda saved by the bell. And of course, it's just kind of it's unfortunate to see technical issues go in the way of performances like that from Nico. Also, the likes of Otak, who got knocked out in the first round due to a technical issue. As we go on to the ice turnaround first part, Mudda and Heath will be locked in to the next round in the top 9. Onto the second part of the ice turnaround, and Heath and Mudda almost side by side. Heath will finish ahead of the Australian Stutz, winning the round after barely surviving in the previous one with a 105.854 and a very unfortunate spike from Nico, who will still come away with a top 10 finish.
Now here we go, top 8 round. Not really mattering for the jump, for the point jump. I think it's 96 and then it's 100 from 9th to 8th, but then afterwards from 100 points to 200. That is incredible. You just double your points within one round. But first you need to get there, and it is Binks who's right now behind.
Yeah, they're locked in a 3 to 4-way fight, or they were, as Stutz seems to have slowed down a little bit as well on checkpoint number 7. So currently the Dutchman from Wombo is currently on the bubble and on the hot seat to be knocked out before the top 8. He's trying to catch back up to his former teammate Wizzy from formerly of Team Wild as we go onto the ice slide. Well, Wizzy's still in Team Wild. Stutz was formerly of Team Wild, just as a quick note, as we do see Stuff's trying to get back to the man from Team GB. He has a bit extra speed, but it's not enough. He runs out of road just before the finish line.
Stuff and Wizzy, both former teammates who played for Team Wild. Wizzy knocking out Stuff and be like, hello, I'm also still there. And the rivalry is always so cool to see. So let's go into the round, because we have seen already a first mistake happening here from Jadon, who's a bit further behind, make it 1 to 2 car lengths. Still something that he can catch up from, and he will do so. Very wide approach there. And also, where's Mudda? I think Mudda is quite far behind as well, so maybe we can focus on him in this round. But no, actually Jadon has been falling quite significantly behind here.
Yeah, there was maybe a little bit of a lag as well, or some errors with the transponders and the splits, but Mudda is very much in the right group. He's in P6, P5, battling for P5 with Gwen, and Jadon has a 3/10 deficit to make up. He's going to have to pray for a very heavy crash from one of the top 7 ahead in order to make it through to the next round. We did see Gwen with a bit of a slow exit from the first ice turnaround, and it looks as though Jadon will be out of the running here. In 8th position for the man from Team Shift, 105.622 for Mudda, who gave a few hard fillers to some of the Ardians, I think, but still wins the round with a .622. We're down to 7 players.
Mudda, Wizzy, and then also Heath does very nicely in here as well. Of course, was a bit lucky in that round, where also Mudda was a bit behind, but he does very nicely. Top 7 for him, so that is a great placement. Also 200 points locked in. That is a huge pay jump, and now the 6th place will be worth at least 300 points, or will be worth 300 points. 5th and 400, and so on up until 2nd, where you gain 700 points, and 1st is worth 1,000 points. But let's go into the rounds. Heath, the best line there, but we see a mistake there, and this was done by Wizzy. Wizzy down to P7.
Yeah, Wizzy down to P7. He, who has not made any significant mistake. He's not really put a foot wrong. He's just a little bit off on pace compared to the top 5 ahead of him, and he will be relishing the opportunity given to him by that touch from Wizzy, and thus the Frenchman will be making his way through along with his 2 fellow compatriots, Gwen and Binks. Mudda will win yet another round with a .526, a 10th ahead of Granadi, and Massa currently sitting in P4. The 2 German players from Big are still in the running in the top 6.
Yeah, so Mudda with a great performance. I think that was back-to-back win for him, and that is very nice to see from Mudda. The Thunder from Down Under, top 6 locked in. I think the dark horse here in this match is definitely Heath, but he has been showing some great performance in the last couple of months as well, but now he has been making a mistake. But also Massa touched the outside, but got away with it, has a bit more speed, but definitely the round is not over. If Massa slightly touches, or maybe doesn't get a good exit from the ice side, Heath can overtake, and this could happen. Heath has good speed here. Massa going very wide there, and having an even better exit than Heath.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate touch of the top barrier on the way to the first dirt from Heat, which has cost him so much. Massa was looking to be maybe caught up by Heat, but then a double bonk at the apex of the turn before checkpoint number 8 will definitely seal the fate of Heat here in this round, and Massa will be looking to lock himself into the top 5, albeit a few ways away from the top 4, currently sitting half a second down compared to 4th place Binks at the moment, as we go along with him with the chase cam onto the 2nd ice turnaround, and it will be a top 5 at least locked in for Massa. Mudda with a .484, slowly but surely turning up the wick here in the final stages of this Elite Cup. Heave down to 6th.
Another win here for Mudda, and that definitely applies some pressure onto him, or maybe he just finds himself into the groove of things. The player field is of course a bit thinner now, with only 5 players left, so good performance from Mudda in the last 3 rounds. Hopefully he can keep it together, because if he just continues to win the next round, and maybe this round as well, for me he's the favorite to win this first Elite Cup of 2026.
Massa tried to risk it, but unfortunately was not able to capitalize on that in the first sector. And even in the second sector got so close on the way towards checkpoint number 8 to the apex wall there, where we saw Heath go for a double bonk, and Massa looks to be on the hot seat and might soon be bumped out of the field, going onto the first ice turnaround there on China 2026. Mudda still having a mountain of a deficit, 3/10 at this point of the game. It's almost insurmountable, and it is insurmountable for the man for Team Big, who even clips on the way towards the finish line. Will be retiring. Mudda, Granati, Gwen, and Binks.
Mudda, another win for him. And also, I really like the fact that Massa went for the bug side. He has been failing the start. Maybe he was not feeling comfortable with it. You know, maybe didn't have a good line beforehand, having a lot of speed, so he was like, yeah, I'm going for it. So I think it was a smart way of going for it, but yeah, he definitely lost some time at the start with that bug slide. He didn't get the best of exits, but here we go. Top 4 situation, Binks, Gwen, Granati, and Mudda fighting it out, and let's see if Mudda can win another round. Insane speed here out of the ice slide, but he finds himself on last position. Granati in the lead, followed up by Gwen and Binks, who are getting a great line, but Mudda going all the way into first position. What an incredible line here. Granati now falling himself behind. Let's see what he can do in the ending. No one touches there. Granati with good speed as well. One Frenchman is slowing down as Granati still in there, and Granati will probably be in the top 3, but who will join him? Will it be Mudda, or will it be Binks or Gwen who face elimination? Right now it's Gwen who's behind. Will it be enough to overtake? The answer is a no, and Gwen goes down, and P number 4, still an incredible performance. And now we have 1 German, 1 French player, and 1 player from Australia left in the race.
These 4 being nip and tuck all the way through the round pretty much, and it was only towards the tail end where there was a little bit of a pace deficit for Gwen that did him in and got him to P4 in the end, as we're going on to the penultimate round of the first Elite Cup of the season. Binks, Mudda, and Granati battling for survival and a chance to compete in the final round. Big jump on the side of Granati before the first ice slide of checkpoint number 4. It's still 600ths of a second between first and third. Everything's still possible.
Yeah, very good line there from Binks, but he sacrificed a lot of speed there by going very, very inside into the part. But now Granati is trying to come back. Didn't hit the snow slightly, and on the inside, he really wants to avoid that, but Granati still has to pull the trigger here. He is behind. Now we come into the identity. Granati with a good turnaround will sacrifice a bit of speed, but he needs to slow down anyway. But I think the gap is too much here, and Granati will go down on 3rd position. And here we go. It will be Binks versus Mudda in the final. Granati with a 3rd position, still 600 points locked up for him. That is definitely not a bad result, but the question is, who will go home with 1,000 points? And Geek, take the last rounds. Let's go.
This is it, the final round confrontation. It is going to be Mudda versus Binks. Australia versus France. Here we go for the last 60 seconds of the first Elite Cup of 2026. Mudda gets a good start. Same for Binks. Both looking to be settling themselves in. 59 milliseconds at the end of checkpoint number 2. Binks with a full inside line goes so close to hitting the outside wall before the drop down into checkpoint number 3. Mudda in the lead. Binks going all the way to the other side of the road. Mudda emerges in the lead at the end of sector number 1 before the ice slide. Binks still trying to pile the pressure on the 2-time Trackmania Grand League champion. They're still side by side on the way towards the convex platform. We go low for Binks, trying to carry a bit more speed, but he's actually lost a bit of time on the way towards checkpoint number 7. He finds himself a 10th and a half down. He's going to try to carry all the speed in the world through that dirt part. Mudda still in the lead, but by about 0.8 of a second. The gas's been slashed in half. Binks going for the throat, going for the move, on the way towards the identity. The first ice turnaround. Binks currently leading by the slimmest of margins ahead of Mudda. Mudda emerges in the lead at the end of the first ice turnaround. Moving on to the second ice turnaround. Who is going to exit with the best amount of speed? Mudda will make it through and be the first winner of the Elite Cup in 2026 with a .940. Binks.
Not bad, huh? Not bad. Ooh. That was a scary last round. We were both very shaky. That's how you get it done. Phew. Well, that's a very, very good start to our EWC and ENC campaign, gotta say. I love how I approached that. I did get lucky. I will admit, I did get very lucky in that 10th place round. Whew. But that was very well played. That was so weird. In that round, I crashed the start. I thought that I toggled an action key by accident, and I was turning to make sure I didn't. By the time I realized, I had already crashed into the wall. Then I remembered I didn't have a binding. Because it felt weird when I started. I clicked a button that I don't ever click, and I'm like, oh no, did I click an action key? But no, I recovered quickly. Ah, yes. Let's go. Woo. Ah, that is such a relief. I just wanted a strong performance, and that's what we got.